Oh my god, I can't believe what I'm about to read. Okay, so here's the deal. When I was looking at other people's like Let's Reads and stuff like that on YouTube, I looked up the this guy named I think it was Popo Man, and he did like yeah, it's Popo Man 100. He did let's well I don't know if it's a Let's Read, but it's just a reading of Cupcakes, and I just wanted to read it or watch it. Anyway, he does like a bunch of pony fanfics, and as I was scrolling through his little fanfic list, I saw this reading. The reading is called gee, I can't even say the name of this thing. Oh my god, this is like worse than freaking Cupcakes, man. One of the reasons is because it involves the actual reader into the story, because I'm not exactly sure on this, and if anyone actually regularly reads like fatfics and stuff, which is what uh, this fanfic is, it's basically classified as a clotfic, which is the brony term for fatfic. And if you don't know what fap is, you can go search it up yourself. I'm not going into detail, but anyway, it makes the reader feel like he's inside the story, and usually participating in sexual content in the freaking story, which this story does have a lot of, and it does have me freaking screwing Rarity in the corner or whatever, and I do not appreciate that very much, and yeah, some of that's kind of offensive to me too, just my intelligence pretty much, but I don't really care. Anyway, this fanfic is called, it's freaking Preggity. God, man, I hate that name. And I freaking can't even look at Rarity anymore because she's like just so reminding of that freaking story. And it's so awful. I mean, it's not written bad or anything. It's just freaking disgusting. I mean, I'm not one of those freaking bronies that go out and like usually freaking jack off to freaking ponies, like freaking Rule 34 pony pictures. That really ruins the show for me if I see one of those things. And like this freaking fanfic is pretty much a porno, and it's really ruined everything for me. I wasn't actually expecting it to be like you are in the story. I was just expecting it to be like some like Spike ends up screwing Rarity or something and gets her pregnant. But no, that's not exactly what it is. It's actually the reader is like, let's say, okay, so the reader is supposed to be married to Rarity. I keep calling her Preggity. God, that name. Oh. Anyway, I don't even know why I keep saying it. But, her name is, why am I saying her name? Okay, so the reader is married to Rarity. Okay? And apparently you get her pregnant through the story. Well, she's already pregnant. And you're first started off as, like, struggling. And I'll get to the reading in a second. I just want to lay down some basic stuff here. And at first your marriage is struggling or something, and then after a while she starts getting, well, I don't know, it just starts erupting into angry sex, and that's where it starts off, where it starts the whole disturbing part of the whole story. And I forgot that Popo guy what I was talking about before. He's the one who actually provided the link to Preggity. God. How many times do I have to say that name, seriously? I'm not going to say it anymore. And so I just clicked on it, and then here's the link, and it has like a bunch of parts to it. This story has at least like 8 parts, and reading them, they're about like at least 20 minutes long or so, I don't know. But I'm just going to get started because I know I ramble too much about things. I know I did it in Cupcakes, so anyway. Should I just read this like top part? I'm on the page right now. It says, interested in contacting me with new critiques and compliments? Email address. And drop me a line. Always glad to discuss just about anything. And always looking forward to sharing other things with people and having them share with their favorites with me. See you sometime soon for part 9. Oh, please do not make any more parts. There's a part here. It says like, I don't know what POV collection is, POV guy series, but you know, I think they like merged it or something. I think they're helping each other or something with the story. But you know what? You really don't want to make any more. Because I can see part 8 right now. If you see the link right now, because I'm putting it in the description, you'll see part 8 is filled with sexual content that I do not want to read. And I'm only at part 5 right now. But, you know, I'm starting this Let's Read early. So anyway, let's go to part 1, shall we? Let's get this bad boy rolling. Or I really don't want to, but you know what? I'm going to do it because I'm a freaking masochist and I want to destroy my brain as much as possible. Anyway, part 1. Pregnant Rarity. Prehensile Tale. Angry Sex. Yay. You know, it's really ain't the name of the chapter or anything. It's just, it tells you the content that's inside of it. So, if you really don't want to read that thing, then you can just skip it. But, you know, it gets worse down the road, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's start it. The lights are off when you finally get home. Performing the necessary ritual key jingling. Required to enter your low-rent apartment. You try awkwardly and silently to remove your coat without taking off your bag. Finally placing it on the coat rack, along with a few of your lighter jackets, and a few of her saddles. The 12-hour shift you just wrapped up has you hanging your head, and you slip a messenger bag full of work-related papers and bills. You pick up on your way into the building, off of your shoulders and onto the kitchen table. Slouching down in one of the chairs, you struggle wearily with the envelopes filled with bills and junk mail. It's going to take an hour of sifting through them and balancing a checkbook before you can even think of bed. And it'll only be worse when the baby arrives. Gee, I can only imagine. This thought inspires a cautioning glance down the hallway, where the bedroom door hangs slightly ajar. Windowless and dark, you wonder how she's doing, regretting the lack of time you two have had together over the last few months. When things started, they seemed so fun. But as the rigors of time spent in close proximity has taken their toll, you've had your share of fights, arguments, and half-hearted concessions. You're not sure when it happened, but marriage quickly lost its appeal. So yeah, so basically there is marriage struggle and just other finances, because you know that's what happens when you have kids, you know, or it's when they're on the way, and yeah, stuff like that. God dang it, this throat, man. A bit distracted from your evening chore, you get up and anxiously wander the room. It has been a while since you had fun, a while since you got to sit down and laugh like you used to. Your hand reaches out, unconsciously touching a plastered place in the wall you slammed into the first time an argument got physical. Great. I guess I'm very angry. I'm usually not that angry, but okay. I can punch through walls and stuff. I guess that was a pretty bad argument then. Your face twists a bit, a mask of disappointment with yourself and her at the memory of it. Next to the remains of the whole was a shelf filled with both of your things, dusted attentively by her. Pictures of her and her friends, her sister, and you adorn one half, while your side is a bit more bare and frameless. As you reach out to pick one up, it slips and you fumble with it, making no small amount of noise. Embarrassed, you try to set it right. Worried for some reason that someone will notice it being out of place. A sound from the hallway draws your attention. Oh my god. Heavy hoof falls beat their 4 legs, marched up the short corridor, bringing her into view. Ah, shit, I'm caught. Even roused from the bed, there's a beauty about her. Her hair isn't as messy as one would expect. Her eyes, even in the dark, don't carry the look of someone who just woke up. Well, of course, it's Rarity. You can imagine she's been awake and waiting for you for some time. Sleepishly, you wonder why you've snuck into your own home, and whether or not it was truly consideration on your part that made you afraid to attract her attention. Her lovely purple mane frames her face, partially covering those azure eyes in the dark room, making it hard to gauge her expression. But as she speaks, the tone of her voice conveys her mood well enough. I thought you... Dang it, man. I should have practiced with this voice because I really wanted to actually try to do the voice. I thought you were going to be home earlier tonight. What sort of man did I marry? You tried to mumble an excuse, but it's cut short. Yeah, that sounds like me, like, a lot. I get cut short when I'm trying to make an excuse or something. Planning to leave me up waiting again all night? It's terribly improper to leave a lady waiting, you know. Oh, the things I could be doing all night long. But I'm here in this house, and just why do you think that is? Her head tilts down, drawing your attention to her swollen stomach and widened hips. Oh, God. The cause of both of your stresses lies curled in her womb. Your long hours, her fear of leaving the house, it all comes back to the same thing. It's the cause of so many things. You can feel it, and she can see it, and so can she. Oh, darling, I know it's not easy to work all day, but I haven't a soul to talk to. It's simply criminal, like being locked in some dungeon, waiting all day to be liberated by a conversation that might very well not be coming. How would that make you feel? Well, actually, it doesn't make me feel that bad because I'm actually kind of a loner, so I just really don't care. Feelings aren't your strong suit. They never have been. In real life, it actually is my strong suit. Your eyes wander from her gaze, wishing this conversation would be over. Yeah, I kind of wish that too. Isn't it? What? It isn't. Oh, okay. She walks, positioning herself back under your gaze, closer to you. Her voice raises. Oh, come now. Look at me. Look at me when I talk to you. Honestly, the manners on you. I've waited all day. For months now. You can't come home and give me anything, can you? What did you bring home? More empty promises? Or more of these? Her tail slaps the table behind her. Perfect control, perfect strength, scattering the bills around the room. You arc your back at the suddenness of it. The room growing more intense. You push her aside, tired of the silliness, tired of the bills, tired of the fighting, tired of it all. And you bend to scoop the bills up. Behind you, you hear a frustrated whinny. What are you doing? I am trying to talk to you. Well, geez, you just spilt all the bills on the floor. I have to go pick that up. I'm surprised you're actually not going to freaking thank me for that because you're always doing all the work. An untoo gentle bump on her nose as you bend to pick up the bills. The bills sends you off balance. What? You bend to pick up the bills sends you off... Oh, okay. Never mind, because, yeah, she bumped me with her nose. And you catch yourself with your arm, resorting to landing on your side. You're past irritated now. You stiffen yourself as she comes toward you, bringing her weight to bear on your torso. Despite your strength, her weight, and the angle you're lying, that makes resistance impossible. She brings you to the ground and pins your shoulders with her hooves. Something wet touches your cheek. Oh, jeez. Yeah, and here's where the sexual part's about to start, kind of. She's crying. Quiet. No sobs. No shaking. Just tears. All day I waited for you. We wait for you. Will it always be like this? I have needs. I want to be seen. So much time spent every day on this hair, this coat, these hooves. What good is it all if I'm to be in here forever, and you're to be out there forever? You reach an arm up, touching her cheek, angry subsiding. She leans in, and you share a brief kiss, anger slowly abating. She tastes a minty toothpaste, obviously having meant to go to bed hours ago. You can't imagine tasting it much better, having fueled yourself on coffee since the early morning. It's just... Oh dear. Oh my. You smell like out there. You taste like out there. Why? Why is it so unfair? You try to quiet her down with another kiss, but she pushes you back down. Who's back on your shoulder? It's not fair. Oh crap. Stupid Mike. You've so much energy all day long, but nonetheless for me when you get home. Am I to clean the same 4 shelves all day? Read the same 3 magazines? Give me something. Give me. Your nose is close to your face now. Breathe hot. Is that breath? Breath hot and trickling down your neck. Give me anything. You hear a zipping noise and look down. Her tail has already gotten your jeans down, warming its way around her ample belly. Now hard at work on your belt. Oh God. Here we go, people. Here we go. Seeing where this is going, and not having the energy for it, you try to maneuver your arms around, but it's no use. You're well and truly pinned, and well and truly getting raped. It doesn't say that, but still. Give me what you saved up all day. Don't waste it on some 5 minute bout of pleasure while I'm asleep. You have me. You have the most lovely unicorn in all Equestria. Your belt is undone now, the jeans unbuttoned. She relents from pinning you long, enough to get your teeth around the hem of your jeans, tugging and pulling pitifully, maneuvering her normally graceful figure on the floor, off balance by the near 8 months of love you've shared. Between your wriggling to get away and her pulling, she finally succeeds. Your head hits the wall with a loud thump. Ow. She's springing back on you now. She sits, positioning herself on your lap. Slowly, with the grinding motion to her lips, she strokes your manhood with her lower lips. Each time she raises, a small sticky residue glistens in the low light of the room, and she leans in the delivery of a brief kiss to you before returning to her rhythmic motions. Wanted or not, you're getting hard for the constant simulation. She's well aware of it too, and she picks up her pace. Oh jeez. Here comes the frickin' first sexual moment in this frickin' fanfic. I keep calling it frickin' comics. Why am I calling it frickin' comics? That's it, darling. Come now. Show me how much you care. Show me what it is you want. Do you want it like I wanted? I don't know how to say that. I guess it's like I've wanted it all these past few months. Your arms reach out to stroke her side, but she doesn't trust you to let her take things all the way. Her ample locks of perfectly groomed hair wrap around your hands and pin them to the wall behind you. How does that work? I mean, like, really? Is that magic, or she has like muscles in her hair? Because I know she's done that in like episode 25 and stuff when she has that box in her tail. I think there's like friggin' it's magic since she's like supposed to be a unicorn, you know, and you know unicorns have magic and there's certain special talent. So anyway, continuing. Dang it, where am I? Okay, now with her face closer than ever, she begins to lap at your lips, pressing them apart, working her tongue inside, rubbing around your teeth and pressing against your tongue. She leans out again, and you feel her tail wrap around your legs. Rising up, she works her way down to your body, hot tongue leaving trails of wetness down your torso. She arrives at your cock, now hard and throbbing from the constant attention. In moments, she's working it expertly. Your time together having taught her every special spot in the area. Her hooves stroke your testes and the inside of your thighs as her snout bobs up and down. Working its warmth up and down the slickening pole, you get up to push her off, to take control, finally ready for action, but she misinterprets. No! With a loud whinny, she whips her body around, tail wrapping around both arms, and pinning them to your chest. Her hair has one of your kicking legs, the other flailing awkwardly around, and with much effort she manages to work herself quickly onto your dick. And also, if you don't know, you're also a human in this. You're not a pony, which is good because I don't really want to think of me as a pony. I don't really like the whole persona of pony things like people make. This is mine tonight. Mine. With the loud cry, she slams herself down forcefully, taking the entire saliva-soaked shaft into her warm womanhood. Both of you cry out in pleasure at the sudden filling sensation. That's BS. I'm not a freaking screamer. I'm not even a freaking moaner. That's all. I'm pretty silent. You jerk up involuntary and clumsily bump into her back. A restraint on your hands at last spent by the suddenness of the invasion. You regain your composure first. You shove her roughly onto her hooves again. She begins to whimper, fearing the rejection, and then cries out in surprise as you thrust into her again. Mindful of the baby, she cries out as you slide out to the tip and thrust back in. Each pounding sends waves of tremors through her flanks. You reach under her, hands wrapped around her swollen belly. Each thrust gives it a playful bounce, slamming in and out and driving her forward into her ear is pressed against the carpet. Her forelegs buckle, fetlocks touching her chest, shank and hawk hiked high into the air as you lift her. pounding harder as you increase your rhythm. The warmth of her womanhood is incredible. She grips as hard as she can each time you pull out, making the press back in tight and stimulating. Her muscles spasm around you and relax momentarily, and you can tell she's already come. Fatigue takes your tired arms, and you set her back on the ground, still humping her into the carpet. Now with the chest on her back, feeling the warmth of her body under yours, she protests, rolling onto her side to protect the precious package in her womb. Carefully you hike up her left leg, gripping her by the shank and thrusting back in at an angle. Her cries of concern turn to moans of pleasure. Hooves trying to navigate the awkward angle to play with her clit. You oblige for her. Share her hands, reaching where she can, and tease at the pink love button. Oh my god. She responds by tightening around you. It's all you can do not to cry out at the sudden tightness. But your mute role in this night's love-making goes on unbroken as she whips her tail into your mouth, crying out, "Bite me! Bite me! Bite on me! Yes!" Oh my god, this is so horrible. You continue to work at her, her legs kicking in pleasure, clawing at the carpet in a most unladylike fashion. You're certain she's clipping a hoof at this point, if not both of them, but you say nothing as she twists her neck in vain to catch a glimpse of the source of all of her pleasure. Eventually she settles, for burying her face in her hooves, trying to stifle out her loud moans. Your stamina begins to run its course, sweat and her juices streaming down your body. Your shirt is covered in both at this point, clinging to your body like a second skin. Gritting your teeth around her tail, you finally reach your climax, juices pouring into her love tunnel. Her body heaves as she tightens around you, feeling the warmth spreading within her, determined to come again with you. A shudder rocks her body, and her wish is granted. The muscles relax, and you pull out of her, flopping down beside her as her body heaves with the efforts you've both undertaken. Her swollen stomach rises and falls again, or quickly, and she's panting on her side. You look lustfully at the pony you've been neglecting so much recently. You can feel hardness returning between your legs already. She feels it again against her back. Again? Maybe just a minute? A glass of water. I'm so terribly thirsty. I can't have a glass of... She's cut off as your mouth meets hers, your wet tongue working its way into a dry mouth. Oh my god. I can't imagine just freaking having my freaking mouth touching hers. Ugh. It's a freaking pony, for crying out loud. What the heck? I mean, I know there's a lot of people that would actually freaking do it, but I mean, god. That's like sick. And I know there's a lot of bronies out there that kind of like this kind of thing. That's why they made it. You are sick, man. But you know what? I can't really complain about it. Or I can't really, I mean, if it's your fetish, it's your fetish. You can't really complain about it. You roll her onto her back, straddling her gently. Your hands rub across her stomach, up to her chest, finally cupping her chin as you continue your kiss. She works her legs around your waist. As you work your way gently on top of her, minding not to put your weight into her precious tummy, your erect member slaps against it by accident, and the feeling is akin to rubbing up against a taut. And don't worry, I figured out what taut means. It's like something that has to do with like tightening of muscles or something. But I know that's right. That's a right word. So yeah, swollen drum. Both of you look down, and she tries to shake her head as your hand leaves her chin and then begins to rub over her tightness of that spot. As she reclines on her back, sighing at the sensation, your tongue covers every inch of her swollen body. Your hands grip above her flanks, meaty sides abundant there. She whinnies in protest. You know that gripping her love handles makes her feel fat, but you don't care. She apparently feels the same, desired outweighing argument. Her tail twisting playfully around her feet and slipping in between your toes. After the performance you just gave, a small allowance to explore a body in the dark is deserved. And explore you do. There we go, people. That's part 1. I hope you freaking enjoyed, because I sure freaking didn't. Because, apparently I just screwed Rarity, because, that's me, because it addresses as that it being me because I'm the reader. So I just screwed Rarity. You mad, Spike? I hope so, because that'd be funny. But yeah, stay tuned for part 2, and if you can handle it. Well, that's pretty much it. Expect part 2 later.